How's everyone doing? Fantastic. Thank you. God. Like energy, I love it. Makes me feel great about myself. I had a job interview today. That was cool. I don't need the job. I was just bored. So, yeah. You ever do a job interview when you don't need one? Exhilarating. You can say whatever you want in there. They don't give a fuck. They're like, how would you describe yourself? And I'm like, I'm fucking electric. And they're like, okay, well, what do you hope to get out of this job? And I'm like, mostly cocaine and fat bitches. That's... I was like, isn't that why we all apply to Chili's, you know? And at this point, they're like, this kid's got a lot of strengths. But what are his weaknesses? Fat Mexican women. And where do you find them? Chili's. One of my sisters, she just became a teacher at her old high school, which I can't believe they allowed that. They could have went and looked at her transcript, you know? No. She used some of my family members as references, which it's good that she didn't use me. Because they'd be like, why don't you describe Brett's character? I'm like, oh, she's a sweetheart, works hard. She does this thing though, you know, when you call her out on something, be like, quit being a bitch, she throws a baseball bat at you. But, you know, that's just a fun quirk she has, you know. That's her one flaw, she can't handle criticism. That's what it is. Yeah, she just became a teacher. My oldest sister is a social worker, which that was weird for me for a little while, because I thought that was like a politically correct way of saying prostitute. She was going through college, and the whole time I thought she was being a whore, you know? Like, she's learning how to be a whore out here. I was looking at my dad, are you fucking okay with this? And he's like, Grandma suggested it. And I was like, what the? Sweet lady. And then all my teachers would be like, oh, what's your sister doing? I'm like, don't want to know. She's dirty now. No, I have 5 sisters though. Yeah, no brothers. So that's real cool. I've came to terms though that like my sisters look at me as just like another sister as well. Because one of them started sharing their sex lives with me. And I'm really chill about it now. She just calls me, he's like, God, he threw me up against the wall and shoved his hand down my pants. I was like, the fucking what? I'm getting ready for work right now. Thing is I like the guy too, he's a cool dude, but it's fucking weird. No. Also, when I tell girls I have 5 sisters, a lot of them think that's like a good thing. They're like, ooh. I don't know if they think I'm gonna go down on them better than the last guy or something. It is, I don't know. I don't know what they expect. Like, we can watch Barbie movies, like I can do that, but you're not gonna come. Like that's, sorry, I can't. Also, I think these girls think I have like girly sisters. I don't. I have tough bitches as siblings. That's just me telling you I physically fought them growing up. And not like a fun punch buggy way. I mean, I clocked their ass. I just set a tone in that household, you know? Anyone else here hit a woman?
I will.
Preach. I've done it. For every person who's ever hit a woman in here, feels just as good as you think it does. It really is. I've never done drugs, because I grew up hitting my sisters. No, I also, having that many sisters, I would think it'd make me less like misogynistic than I am, but like I want to be like, no, girls can drive. I only feel safe with one of them during the day out of the 5. That's not good. Daytime drivers. They also, remember the time when they're like, believe all women? I was like, yeah, I was into that. And then I would see my sisters interact with their friends and be like, oh, that's such a cute shirt. And then look at me and be like, I'd never wear that shit. That's your friend? just makes me not trust the women myself. Anytime I've ever gotten a compliment from a girl and I'm like, you fucking cunt. You didn't mean shit. You lied to me. Hurt my feelings. Love that woman. I also went to high school with two of my sisters, and I don't know if you guys know about like high school boys, but they're very horny, and they like to upset people. Every weekend, every Monday, I'd come back and my kids would walk in like, your sister gives the best head, and I'm like, that's tough. Because I also knew my sisters were listening to Call Her Daddy. You guys know what that podcast is? Like, this was back, there's a girl on there also named Sophia, and all they would talk about was blowjobs. So I was like, yeah, they probably are pretty good at that. And no, they should be, you know, otherwise if they're bad at something, I'd hit them, you know? I expect excellence out of my sisters. If you're gonna do anything, do it right, you know? I don't think my dad would be proud with them sucking dick, but if they're good at it, he's like, well, they're hardworking, and that's what matters. They affect the way I date, because I try to be a gentleman with ladies, and all it does is make sexting way too weird. I can't talk dirty. These girls are like, how are you gonna fuck me? And I'm like, respectfully. You know, like, I want to be somewhat chill about it, but you know. And then they're confused. They're like, well, you gonna choke me? I'm like, I can cook you some dry steak if you want. Like, do with that as you please. I'm not gonna stop you. And with all that sex appeal I'm oozing out, they stopped talking to me. Can you believe that? They're missing out on the whole package up here. I did have one girl respond with that. She said, that made my pussy so dry I put chapstick on it. Very funny, that's cool. And I was a little too earnest with her. I go, you can do that? So, that's me. Yeah, we also went to a Catholic school, so I didn't experience like people saying they're fucking my sister, so I went to the public school. But Catholic school was fun. They used to teach you that like everyone's made in God's image. And I was like, yeah, as a kid for sure. And then I watched one movie with Shaq, and I was like, well, what image was he made out of, you know? We're not even close. I do think some people were probably made in God's image. We've seen beautiful people. Brad Pitt, Michael B. Jordan. But I've like made me's on the Wii before. First few always look like you. And then at some point you're like, I wonder how far apart I can make this guy's eyes. And then you get bored with that and you're like, what if I just made Hitler? You know, that's fun. Hitler's fun. And you're like, I've never seen Asian Hitler, so... Turns out Asian Hitler, the best at Wii baseball. Who would have thought? 2010, I created Shea Otani on my own league. Someone go, oh. God, I am, got a little bit of time. I'll end with this one right here. I've been alive long enough that I thought this would have happened by now. I thought someone would knock on my door and be like, hey, I'm a sex offender. Because they're supposed to do that. They're supposed to be like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Lock your fucking kids up. You know? I don't know if they tell them, they're like, you have to just do at least 2 houses for us. You know, just like, I don't know. I just know I'd be the dumb one who'd make, like, it'd be like extra credit. I'd just do too many houses. To the point where the neighborhood would be like, it's like he's bragging to us. And that's just a banger joke to end on. It's really tore it up here. All right.